Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and I must confess that I was marinating Outer Wilds in my Steam backlog for about 4 years. 4 long years. I could have tried it at any moment, but I resisted the urge with my almost unbreakable willpower. This kinda sounds like the greeting from Alcoholics Anonymous, so I will continue in this note. I never installed it. I was resisting playing Outer Wilds all this time. I had a thirst for it, but I said no, and I was very proud of myself. You know, playing games like this can rip you out of reality completely, make you play and play, forget the chores, your job, you can even forget to feed your kids. Not that they are important, you know, but still, it would take you a few years back in the process. So I stayed away from the temptation as long as I could. But one day, like a month ago, something got into me and I just snapped. I couldn't resist anymore and I installed the game. Even after that, I still had a glimmer of hope. You know, this game is almost 4 years old. Maybe it's bad and outdated. Also, it is an indie game, so they get older even quicker. I had hope that even after my unbreakable willpower have failed, maybe this game is total shit now and I could come back to doing nothing all day. The hope was shattered rather quickly. The Outer Wilds is an amazing game, and this is my story why you should try it as well. I can't keep this review spoiler-free visually because I have to show you things, but I will keep the story, puzzles and more mysterious things that took me time to unravel to myself, so you could enjoy this review, my crazy adventures, and then play this game and still find zillions of amazing things on your own. So here you are, an astronaut, a newbie with a spaceship that has never been flown before, or something like that. Everyone in the village thinks that it will explode and kill you. That's for sure not inspiring in any way, but hey, you are not some coward. You are brave and willing to complete the task, even if it could kill you. And oh boy, it will kill you so many times. But later about that. So your mission is to explore the solar system, gather knowledge and make your village proud of you. Well, at least you think like that, until the time loop starts. Then you will realize that you have way bigger problems than just gathering some knowledge about the extinct alien race that littered your solar system with their artifacts, spaceships and city ruins. So long story short, every day you will relive a Hedgehog Day. Yeah, it's the same as Groundhog Day, but it feels a bit different, so I chose a different animal for naming it. Anyway, after a while the day and everything in the world just resets, except the knowledge you gathered. So the next time you can explore things faster, get to the hidden places quicker and so on. Somehow your ship's log doesn't reset as well and keeps every bit of information you gathered. And if you die, the day resets as well and you start over in the same manner. It is some kind of roguelike mechanic. But if so, you can say that Groundhog Day or Edge of Tomorrow is a roguelike movies. And they are, aren't they? So controls in the Outer Wilds are as awesome as they are terrible. Meaning that the learning process is similar to learning how to actually fly a device like that. It is super responsive and it is easy to get confused about what button to press so you could fly to the direction you actually want and to land on feet, not on the roof. For example, my first liftoff to space was very successful. I became the first astronaut to ever land on a sun. Yeah, now I can laugh, but then I was really frustrated. I was like,
what is this shit? It is impossible to fly this thing.
And at that time I had no idea that this game was saving whatever knowledge I gathered, so I thought that I just died and started all over from the beginning again. You know, as a completely new game. Well, in fact I was correct, in a way, because I gathered zero knowledge and just died. You know what that reminds me of? The early explorers of the seas, jungles and the coldest regions of the earth. Most of them did exactly what I did. They gathered zero knowledge and died. Some of them died at the very beginning of the expedition, so they never even saw anything.
Hey Johnny, I'm not feeling well. Should I join the expedition anyway?
Without a doubt, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I wonder what if every single one of them had a Groundhog Day of their own afterwards, in their own parallel universes now. That's food for thought. Anyway, I saw space and I wanted to go back. And I want to specifically mention that the world here is as open as it can be. There are no loading screens, no stuttering while entering another region. The world is absolutely open. You can talk with some friends of yours in your native village, then run to your ship, fly to space, land on another planet and enter the ruins without any interruptions. You know, when some other games that are letting you fly from one planet to another, they show you some transitional moments. For example, you have to fly through clouds, even if you control the ship. Outer Wilds don't have anything like that, and that's why the immersion is as huge as it can get. Not as huge as your mama though. The solar system is always evolving as well. Objects fly around the sun at their own speeds and orbits, various stuff is happening on their surfaces, and nothing is ever the same. Well, until you get the patterns a bit, but at the beginning the whole thing feels like a three-body problem, just with more bodies and significantly more problems. Anyway, as I've mentioned, learning to fly is an important thing, and for that you can even practice with a model ship in your native village. Don't be scared, controlling the real deal is a bit easier, because you can feel the distance, and with a model ship you can only make guesses. So when you are in space you have to choose an object you want to visit, then match its velocity speed and turn on the autopilot. That's it. Or you can try to fly to it on your own, but that is way harder to do. Anyway, in both cases a gamepad is a must. Don't even try to play this game without one. Autopilot will fly a ship to the destination without any struggles, and then you will have to find a place to land. Sounds easy, and it's not. But I learned, and I am 40 plus years old, so you'll be okay as well. So I decided to land on a comet and learn the secrets it hides. A small tiny space body with seemingly no dangers at all is called the Interloper. I was very curious what I would find on its surface, especially because recently I saw some photos of a comet taken by some NASA space probe, and they were awesome. I really like the moment when the autopilot turns on the burners to slow you down, and the planet you are flying into is suddenly getting bigger and bigger, and you start to think that you may crash into it. Nice thing to have is the landing camera. You can turn it on manually anytime, and it really helps with every landing. To be honest, I must confess that in the first hour of gameplay I had no idea it existed, and have landed not so successfully as you have seen me doing now. So I started exploring, and to my horror I saw that we are falling into the sun. Just like that, out of nowhere hops the sun. That was a terrifying moment, and it became even more terrifying when the sun's gravity grabbed my ship, and then it grabbed me, with way stronger force than my ship. Oh crap. I didn't panic somehow and turned on all the engines of my suit to battle the gravity of the sun. It may sound stupid, but it worked like a charm, and if it works, it's not stupid. There, this is me looking back at the giant to see if I'm still dying. I wasn't, yay! But still, my problems just begun. I'm in open space, oxygen is sticking out, and fuel for my suit is almost gone. Basically, I have one chance, one tiny chance to come back to my ship. Alright, actually 2 chances, because I blew the first one. And now I was burning oxygen as my last resort. If I miss my ship, I will suffocate and die. Let's watch my final attempt in silence. So, I failed, not a happy ending, but a fantastic adventure to tell, isn't it? Just think about it. I landed on a comet. The sun tried to steal my ship, but instead ejected me into the outer space. And almost every journey here is of similar epic proportions. Every expedition will evolve into something extraordinary no matter where you go. You know, I still had to think a safe way to land on a comet and explore its secrets. I won't tell you what those secrets are, but the fact that even the smallest body here is handmade for you to explore is amazing. In this decade of procedurally generated worlds and even whole games, something entirely made by hand is beyond awesome. By the way, it is unnecessary to fly very far to immerse yourself into adventure. Your own home planet has plenty of hidden secrets as well. Although when I started exploring for the first time, I made a mistake and went exploring without a suit. I thought that it would be stupid. You know, you're not going to your local Lidl with a spacesuit. You're not going to have fun by the lake suited with the latest NASA technology. It may save you from ticks and mosquitoes, but on a necessity scale from 0 to 10, it is 0. So that was my thought process, but apparently I was wrong. Suit, as I've mentioned before in a story about the comet, has jetpacks installed, and they work not only in space, but on the ground as well. You can make big leaps or smaller jumps with it, depending on the situation, but without it I couldn't reach certain places, and that was a disaster. So never ever go anywhere without your spacesuit. Well, maybe only in your native village, but when I think about how many times I slipped and fell down the stairs, maybe even there. So you can explore your own planet or dive straight ahead into the space adventure, which is probably more fun and more explorationally rewarding. There is no specific sequence in which you have to visit the space bodies. You can start from any of them and gather the clues and pieces of the puzzle together in any order. In other words, this game won't guide you by your hand or penis at all. You know, that may even be scary a bit. You may ask questions like, what should I do now? What do I have to do? And similar ones, but this is not the case with this game. You are an explorer, you don't have a specific mission, you just want to know more. You know, basically your mission is to learn more about aliens. That's it, learn more. As an example, imagine if you just found an ancient civilization of smart beavers in Poland, and you want to know more about this Bobr society, so you just dig around, decipher their ruins and find pieces of interesting things.
Bobrinator 3000.
Yeah, so you don't have a major quest, but you can stumble on one in the process. The same is here, you just explore and have fun. Only thing that actually bothers you is that time loop. It must be stopped, because sometimes you are so close to some interesting find and that white huge shimmer just swallows you with everything around. Once I tried to run away from it. I flew really far and then I was hoping maybe it will miss me. Well, the hope was really slim, but you never know when you manage to break the game. Developers can't think of everything, but they really thought about this. The white nothing never got me, but the world ended anyway, in a more fancy way, as you can see. So in general, this game has so many places and hidden secrets you can find. It will take about 20 hours for you to finish, not very much, but as I always say, better short, concentrated fun than long agony. There are plenty of games with fetch quests. Even more of those require grinding, and here is just pure exploration. Well, and death on every corner, but that's okay. When you die, you embark on another equally fun or even more interesting adventure. I can say only one bad thing about this game. When I used my spaceship a lot as a vehicle to travel small distances instead of exploring on foot, motion sickness got me. You know, every time you lift off to space, it's all good. You just fly without any rotation. But if you go up and then immediately land slightly further, the rotation will get you. Well, anyway, I can without a doubt give this game 10 cold beers out of 10 and announce it as an absolute hit in my native Cold Beeristan. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day and subscribe for more. Bye.